彩呈现，观众朋友大家好，欢迎收看本期的欧洲大观，我是主持人黄杰。今天都为您安排了哪些精彩内容呢？奥地利河谷惊心动魄的极限漂流，一本讲述英国传统品牌的图书，瑞士小镇达沃斯的前世今生。越来越多的人喜欢上了无人机比赛，参赛者们给无人机装上摄像头，再通过特殊的眼镜来观看回传画面。与传统的飞机模型相比，遥控无人机更容易操作，速度也快得多。甚至刚开始戴着目镜操纵飞机做急速转向时，很有可能会从椅子上摔下来。通过第一视角的眼镜观测，就像自己也在随着无人机飞行，有种鸟儿掠过田野的感觉。
These remote-controlled drones are far more maneuverable and also faster than traditional model airplanes. Berlin is among the many cities with a growing drone racing community.
Ja, also das ist Racing Quadcopter. Diese Maschinen
This is a
sind
quadcopter made for racing.
für Rennen gemacht.
These machines are not quite as agile, but they're super fast and designed to be robust to handle the frequent collisions.
Vor allem, weil man öfter mal irgendwo gegenfliegt.
A quadcopter has 4 engines, which is where the name comes from.
In der Mitte hier vergraben
The control motherboard is hidden in the center,
regelt das Ganze und
and there are 2
es gibt
cameras,
halt immer 2 Kameras. Eine nimmt
one recording the video,
auf, die andere
and the other
überträgt das
transmitting
live
images live to
diese
these
Brille,
goggles,
womit ich dann halt
so I can see
sehen
where I'm
kann,
flying.
wo ich lang fliege.
It's called first-person view, a concept originally devised for radio-controlled model planes. The goggles allow the pilot to see exactly what the copter is filming. That helps create the sensation of experiencing the aerial stunts firsthand. But it does take some practice.
You feel like you've been transported into the copter. On the first 2 flights with the goggles, I fell out of my seat when I did banking maneuvers. You feel like you're moving with the copter. It's like you're a bird flying over the fields.
At Germany's first ever quadcopter contest, at a horse racing venue in Berlin, pilots treated onlookers to some real thrills and spills.
Ich kann ganz einfach abschalten.
It helps to free your mind. Flying with a bunch of people is an incentive to fly faster, and the machines are designed for that.
And they're off, in Formula One style. The quadcopters navigate their way around the obstacle course at speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour, while their pilots sit at trackside. In Germany and many other countries, drone races in the open skies require special advance permission from the authorities. There are already plans for the first World Championships in Hawaii next year. They'll involve around 300 pilots from around the world, competing prize money totaling 90,000 euros. The larger models are better for beginners still getting to grips with drones. The event in Berlin included training courses. Quadcopters are essentially flying computers, some of them fitted with GPS and HD quality cameras. Remote control is trickier than it might sound, but the apprentice pilots relish the challenge. The quadcopters have become a hugely popular high-tech toy. There's now a wide range of versions on the market. Mini drones like this cost around 70 euros. Racing standard quadcopters are often made by the pilots themselves.
technisch versiert sollte man sein.
You do
Man
need
sollte einen
technical know-how or a
Informatik-Background
background in
haben,
IT,
irgendwo
so that
auch
you
mal
can program the flight
Controller
controller.
programmieren. Das ist viel mit
You have to
Elektronik,
be able to
Elektrotechnik
solder
ist
because of
drin.
all
Man
the
sollte löten
electronics.
können, auf
You
jeden
can't get
Fall.
this in a store.
Fertig kriegt man diese Dinger in der Form nicht.
Then there are the special editions, which scale new horizons of creativity. But what they all have in common is they're fun.
来自意大利的爱丽丝是为数不多的街头艺术女明星，她在世界各地的街头都尝试着喷涂各种墙面。最近，她与一位摄影师合作，把自己的艺术和3维摄影结合了起来。观众们只要戴上立体眼镜，便能身临其境地沉浸在栩栩如生的立体画面之中。他喜爱这种与观众之间的直接互动，各种赞美之词更是激励着他继续在各地的街头创作新的作品。
These large-scale wall paintings tell the stories of people and relationships, and they brighten up even the most drab of places. They all carry the signature of one woman, Alice Pasquini. She's one of the few female stars on the international street art scene. Her work has long been on display in galleries, but she prefers to paint on walls.
A wall is not something more than a canvas. A wall has a story, colors, people living around, and working in my studio on a canvas give me no inspiration. So to work on something have already a story, like a wall or recycled material, that's making me feel more inspired.
Pasquini sprays and brushes masterpieces onto walls all over the world, but most of her work can be found here on the streets of her home city, Rome. The artist also finds her models on the streets, just people and their day-to-day lives. She captures these fleeting moments in her sketchbook.
What is moving me more is the things that will not change in 50 years, you know what I mean? It's something that's universal. And in this way, every time I'm traveling around, I have the confirmation that the feelings are not changing from, you know, Moscow to Singapore to Sydney.
The artist has a studio in the artist district of San Lorenzo, where she creates paintings, illustrations, and commission works. She discovered her passion for graffiti while studying classical art. It was also a way of protesting against the elitist art scene. Whether it's a wall or a canvas, people and relationships are at the heart of all her work. Pasquini enjoys painting women the most, depicting how they really are, without stereotypes.
Parents and society propose us a character. It's already done. We have to respect this character. So we have to be kind, not so much curious, not running around too much, not doing noise, while all the girls are curious and irreverent and, you know.
During her project called Under Layers, Into the Wall, Alice Pasquini worked with a photographer to explore the new world of 3D street art. She created these model walls in preparation.
To transform a bidimensional paint in a 3D project, I had to divide on many levels. These are only 4, but in reality we have 7 plus a background.
By wearing 3D glasses, viewers could immerse themselves in the art at this exhibition in Rome. This direct contact with the audience motivates the artist to carry on painting in public spaces.
Each one of us is seeing in a different way, and this exchange was happening in the street, the people telling what they were feeling, explaining to the others.
This idea of exchange also inspired her work at a refugee shelter in Rome. Pasquini transformed the stories of young migrants into wall art. The artist has very modest aspirations for her work.
I think at the end the history of humanity is full of art. It's the history of human beings. So we need this. I can't change the world, but I can make it a little better, you know. So.
And Alice Pasquini does just that, making the world that little bit better, wall by wall.
激流挑战项目是极限漂流难度最大的项目，位于奥兹塔尔山谷的维勒布鲁克河段更是极其危险，只有最优秀的选手才能应付那里的急流，因此这里也就成了举办世界锦标赛的最理想的场所。短片中，我们的记者将跟随3届极限漂流的世界冠军山姆·苏顿，开始这场惊心动魄的漂流之旅。
This is Austria's Ötztal Valley, an idyllic mountain panorama.
Look at this, it's really beautiful here, so quiet, but appearances can be deceiving, trust me.
This is another side of the Ötztal. This year it's home to the Extreme Kayak World Championships. 175 athletes from 30 countries are competing for the title. And here I am, in the middle of it all. Everybody's looking for the zig line, the ideal course through the rapids.
This is one of the toughest whitewater routes in the world. Some parts are called Champion's Killer or Go Left or Die. Who wants to volunteer for stuff like this? Me, but to be honest, at the moment, I'm not quite sure if this is a really good idea for me to try this out.
To survive this challenge, I'm obviously going to need help from the professionals here. I'm pretty nervous. They recommend that I strengthen my mental powers, eat healthy food, and I will also need a bit of luck.
I've got lucky charm, I've got all my stuff in my DW bag. Deutsche Welle, that means German wave. Hello, that must be good omen.
This is the first year that they will be crowning a women's world champion in this event. Norway's Marianne Seether is one of the top candidates.
I do it because it's really fun. It's a very clear challenge to yourself. And of course, when you do it nicely, you feel very successful.
If I want to try this out, what will you tell me?
I think you should go with someone that's experienced, that can teach you the basics, because you can't go alone. We want to give you that confidence.
And who could do that better than a 3-time world champion? New Zealand's Sam Sutton is at the top of his game.
Sam, be honest, what was the worst thing that happened to you?
The closest call I've had is a few times I've just been held underwater for almost a minute or so, and then you're starting to wonder if this is it. But apart from that, I've just broken my nose several times. You can kind of see it right there. It's probably the most crooked nose I've ever seen.
Nevertheless, you need this adrenaline charge.
You want the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward kind of thing, and that feeling of adrenaline that flows through your veins is it's very addictive.
How does it feel like?
It feels really similar to when you try to land a plane. It's exactly the same feeling, but you're just going down way faster. Some kayakers say they don't get any fear, but I think that's wrong. I think everybody naturally has fear, but it's about analysing the risk and seeing, like, am I going to make it, and believing in yourself, and you can feel it. So we're going to go out and we're going to see in a tandem kayak if you've got what it takes to potentially be the queen of zig line for 2016.
Yeah!
We are checking our gear one last time before we head out, in case we flip over.
Obviously, if you're sitting up and I'm trying to roll us, I've got your whole upper body weight to try lift, to try roll.
Okay, so I have to make me small.
Yeah. Definitely.
And we're off. The water is cold, only about 5 degrees Celsius. And I soon find out how that feels when we do our first Eskimo roll. Now I'm sure that it couldn't get any worse, but I'm proven wrong when we get to the steep decline. I'm going down.
This was definitely the craziest, but also the best thing I ever tried out. And I thought a roller coaster was scary, but trust me, a roller coaster is really boring. Oh my god, thank you so much.
Nice job. crushed it.
And I'm still alive.
Back to the competition. Norway's Marianne Seether won the first women's title. Here's Sam Sutton out on the course. And he ends up in third place overall.
Congratulations!
And I am also as happy as can be. This experience was really something. I might still be telling my children and grandchildren about it when I'm old and gray.
老派的英国人通常呢被认为是有品味和格调的绅士。俗话说，人靠衣装。英国人的气质固然重要，那些传承100年的传统品牌呢，更是成为了这份优雅不可或缺的底蕴。最近一本新出版的插图图书，讲述了英国设计界代表品牌的故事。几十年不坏的手工雨伞。 售价不菲的粗格皮鞋、量身定制的圆顶礼帽和西服等等，这些无不彰显了英国企业历久弥新的设计感。
Handmade umbrellas or brollies built to last for decades. Brogues that cost €6,000. Bespoke suits made of the finest fabrics. Items made by small businesses robust enough to outlive economic crisis and rise above passing trends. Horst A. Friedrichs tells their story in his book Best of British.
Ja, bei dem Buch geht es einfach nicht nur um Mode, es geht auch eben, wo die Sachen hergestellt werden. Ich bin ja eigentlich ein Reportagefotograf und mich haben schon immer Fabriken fasziniert. Schon als kleiner Junge fand ich das toll, in Fabriken zu gehen, die Produktion zu fotografieren, die Arbeiter zu treffen, die dahinter stecken. Und bei Best of British, das war eine Wahnsinnsreise.
One that took him to St James Street in London, home to one of the world's oldest hatters, James Lock & Co., established in the 1660s. The shop calls itself the birthplace of the bowler hat, the most British of accessories. Originally meant for the gamekeepers and called the Coke hat, it became known as the bowler because it was designed by London hat makers Thomas and William Bowlers. A well-fitted bowler hat should never pinch. At Locks & Co, master hatters still use a conformateur to measure the shape of the customer's head and then use a series of century-old techniques to create the perfect tailored hat. The bowler hat is over 160 years old. It's had many famous fans. One of the most loyal was Charlie Chaplin.
When you buy a Lock bowler, it comes with kind of a lifetime guarantee. So you can bring the hat back and we'll steam it, we'll reblock it, we'll take care of it for you. So it should last a lifetime.
All the manufacturers featured in Friedrich's book are at least 100 years old. James Smith & Sons make traditional English umbrellas. Friedrichs had to wait a year for permission to document the production process. The wooden-handled brollies cost up to €3,500. There used to be far more umbrella makers in London. Many shut down in the 1980s. Friedrichs wants to show how much work goes into these handsome, handcrafted items and how special the places they're made in are too. The brands he chose to profile are all traditional, pricey and timeless. But that doesn't mean time has stood still for these companies. Scottish raincoat manufacturer Macintosh is now Japanese-owned. Barbour now produces much of its outerwear outside the UK to cut costs, though its classic waxed cotton jackets are still made in Britain. Still, fashion journalist Simon Crompton, who wrote the book's text, believes that Britain's garment industry is still in good shape because good old-fashioned craftsmanship is especially in demand.
A designer or an owner who is still faithful to how the product was produced in the first place. I think that's absolutely crucial. What destroys that heritage is if you get an owner, as happens to a lot of Italian brands, who buy it and focus on the design side but don't really care about the manufacturing anymore.
On London's famous Savile Row, they're dedicated to upholding the art of traditional bespoke tailoring. Royal warrant holders Anderson and Shepherd had their shop here until 2004. But falling demand meant they had to move and downsize. Prince Charles had his suits made here. Anderson and Shepherd used to be an exclusive club. It frowned on marketing and only tailored garments for people who'd received a recommendation from a regular customer. These days, Anderson & Shepherd even advertises abroad to attract customers willing to pay upward of €6,000 for a suit. And the campaign has been a success. The order books are full. The tailors here even wear bespoke suits at work. Their customers expect the very best, as artist Pablo Picasso and actress Marlene Dietrich did in the past.
Diese Patina, ob das eine Lederjacke ist oder ein gut eingetragener Schuh, das sieht dann noch besser aus. Und wenn das gut verarbeitete Produkte sind, werden die mit der Zeit besser und sehen besser aus.
Horst A. Friedrichs ends his tour at a place with plenty of polish, at shoemaker John Lobb. Customers should expect a 6-month wait for their custom-made shoes. In the meantime, they can enjoy looking at the lasts from famous customers of bygone days. Friedrich's book isn't just about the best of British apparel. It also contains plenty of personal stories.
19世纪末，瑞士达沃斯小镇呢，就是一个世界闻名的疗养胜地。适宜的气候让它成为了哮喘和结核病患者的理想疗养场所。如今呢，每年来自世界各地的商业精英都会来到达沃斯参加世界经济论坛。而这个位于阿尔卑斯山路的小镇，却不仅仅是一个商业会议的圣地。旖旎的自然风光和欧洲最好的滑雪场，也吸引了众多游客慕名而来。
The Swiss city of Davos is a winter sports wonderland nestled in the Alps. Whether skating on Europe's biggest natural ice rink, snowboarding, or skiing on 300 kilometers of trails, there's always something to do. Home to a population of around 11,000, Davos is a blend of traditional and modern. One of its newest landmarks is the luxury Hotel Intercontinental, which opened in 2013, also affectionately called the Golden Egg. But it was the Congress Center, built in 1969, that put Davos on the map as a location for international business and medical conferences. The best known is the annual World Economic Forum.
Das war die Entscheidung von Professor Dr. Klaus Schwab, also dem Gründer des
founder of the World Economic Forum was Professor Dr. Klaus Schwab, and he decided it should take place in Davos. He wanted its spirit, its climate, to help shape the event. It was a well-known holiday resort, and he hoped its atmosphere would help participants discuss matters in an open-minded way. That's the background to the spirit of Davos, to this day.
The small mountain village of Davos first came to international attention in the late 19th century as a health resort. 1,600 meters above sea level, its dry, pollen and mite-free climate made it ideal for asthmatics and TB patients.
At that time in Europe, 1 in 7 people died of TB. They weren't just sick, they actually died of it. It was a terrible plague.
Wealthy patients would stay in luxury wellness clinics such as the Schatzalp, which opened in 1900 and is now a hotel. Many spent months, if not years here, following a strict health regime. 5 meals a day, cold showers and hours of rest and recuperation in the fresh air. Beyond the Schatzalp is the Strehlerberg, the first slow skiing trail in Switzerland. No snow cannons are used here. It's 100% natural. If there's no snow, the trails remain closed. At the local Winter Sports Museum, visitors can explore the history of Davos as a ski resort, which came about mainly due to its popularity as a health resort. Not only famous writers, but artists too were drawn to the mountains. In the center of Davos is the Ernst Ludwig Kirchner Museum. The German expressionist painter lived here from 1917 to 1930, painting much of his best-known work here. The museum houses some 12,000 works by Kirchner, about half his entire body of work. Davos has literary and artistic associations, but it also has culinary delights on offer. Local restaurants serve up traditional Swiss fare, cheese and fruit bread, as well as specialities such as Bündnerfleisch or air-dried meat.
Das war vor allem für die Bergbauern, da die
Bündnerfleisch evolved because villagers originally had no way of refrigerating their food. They had to preserve it, so they dried it. That meant they had plenty of meat to eat throughout the winter.
De Vos has left those days far behind. The last 150 years have seen the village in the Swiss Alps evolve into a place where history is made, year after year.
布拉格西南部的安格斯农场餐厅在当地小有名气，这里最出名的菜品非达达牛排莫属了。用刀把最好的新鲜里脊肉切成小块，加上蛋黄搅拌均匀，配上最简单的调料，然后混着切碎的红洋葱和香葱，氤氲之间异香扑鼻，一盘地道而纯粹的达达牛排便摆在了您的面前。
Angus cattle are not that common in the Czech Republic. The breed originated in Scotland, but has become popular around the world because the meat is particularly tender.
Angus is not only nice cow, but they can stay here during the winter also. And the Angus meat is one of the best for using in restaurant, for steaks, for other cooking.
Making it ideal for the restaurant he and his wife run in the village of Sobesuki, southwest of Prague. Angus Farm is famous throughout the region. One of its most popular dishes is tartarak, Czech steak tartare made from top quality sirloin.
We use 100 grams for tartare. We can use the knife without machine. We can cut with knife to small pieces. The fridge must be 2 degrees Celsius. Never use beef frozen.
The traditional recipe calls for raw meat, salt, pepper, cumin, egg yolk, chopped red onion and chives. But there are hundreds of variations on steak tartare. Angus Farm encourages people to experiment with ingredients and compete in its annual contest.
So we run the competition in tartare mixing. This is Czech Championship, and this is open championship, so people can take part if they like tartare mixing and they think they are good in it.
But it's the traditional tartare that remains the most popular.
The most important is beef. Other is yellow egg. Salt. Other ingredients is cumin seed, red onion, and pepper. Now we use green herb chive. Last ingredients for basic tartare is olive oil, just a little bit.
If we want to make the tartare more special, we add dried tomatoes and capern.
And for spicy taste, we can use also Tabasco. That's it.
The tartare is usually served as a starter. With dark rye bread that's been lightly fried in olive oil, the garlic cloves can be rubbed on the bread. Perfect for a light snack at any time of the day or year, because it's always on the menu at Angus Farm.
时尚欧洲精彩呈现，感谢您收看本期的欧洲大观，我是黄杰，下期同一时间我们再见。